still pretty early. I don't know if the crowd's sober enough to find me entertaining, but we'll give it a shot. I think everyone has a moment in their lives where they think at that moment, how the hell did I get into this? And that moment for me was when I was in Nicaragua on my motorcycle running from the police. And it starts actually further back in Mexico. I was taking an 8-month trip from Arizona to Argentina, and I had just gotten into Mexico, about 30 miles into the border, and I got pulled over by the cops because I was speeding. And everyone else was, but I'm a gringo, so they picked me out to try and get some money off me, and they pull me over, and I know no Spanish at this point, and they say, you know, you are going to go to jail if you don't give us $500. And this is all being communicated via paper. They're drawing a little circle and a stick figure and drawing bars over it and saying, writing down 500. And I'm like, pesos? Like, no, Dolores. I'm like, fuck. So I'm trying to bargain. I said, well, I just have 100. And he says, okay, come on. And a gesture that says, well, you're going to jail. And I'm like, fuck, I do have 500. So I give him the money, and they let me go, and I'm off on my way. What they didn't know was that I was videotaping this the whole time, and because I had a camera on my helmet, and it was facing this whole situation, so I got it all captured. And I thought, oh man, I can't wait till I get this on YouTube. So I exit Mexico before I upload the video, and I'm in Guatemala at this point. And I upload it onto YouTube, and it eventually goes viral. Like, this is great, this is cool, you know. My subscriber count was kind of low, so let's up it up a little bit. And about a week later, the Mexican newspapers in Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Monterrey get a hold of the story, and suddenly I'm on the front page of the newspaper. The cops ended up getting fired because they were able to be identified. And suddenly I think I've got a target on my back because people are saying they're connected to the cartel. And I'm jumping whenever there's a loud noise or anything. So I continue my way, and a month later I'm in Nicaragua. Sorry, now on my way to Nicaragua, and before that I'm in Honduras, and I'm getting stopped time after time, and police are soliciting bribes off of me because I don't have like a reflective sticker on my bike, and it's 20 bucks here and there, and I just want to get through, and I'm just getting so pissed off that they're jerking me around this whole time. And in Nicaragua, I notice, you know, I don't think these guys have radios, because they're just like two guys parked underneath a tree in a motorcycle or in a vehicle, and I think, yeah, I've never seen radios on them. I wonder if I don't stop, you know, what will happen? So this is just sitting in my mind for 4 hours as I'm riding and I'm getting stopped. And the next checkpoint, an officer, you know, he motions and says, okay, stop. And I wave back at him, and I pull off to the side, and I just wave, and I slow down to about 10 miles an hour, and I just keep going. And as soon as I'm out of eyesight, I just gun it. And I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing? I mean, I really hope they don't have fucking radios. And I just keep going, and there's some congestion, and I'm lane splitting through vehicles, and which is really just normal in Nicaragua. And I'm trying not to be seen as fleeing from the police, so I'm like doing everything in between, speeding like hell. I'm stopping at every intersection to make sure there's not a cop there, because if he sees me fleeing, then, you know, I don't have plausible deniability if I do get caught. This is all going through my head as I'm racing on my motorcycle, thinking, what the fuck am I doing? And eventually, a cop car stops in the middle of the intersection, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, what's going on? And looking around like he's stopping for someone else, knowing full well that he's coming for me. And he pulls me off my bike. I get arrested, and I'm in the police station. And they're going through all my things, and you know, I have chapstick, and they're like shaking it, and they're thinking, because, you know, I'm running, I must have drugs or something, and that's why. And they're going through my computer too, and for some reason they eventually like find my porn folder and they're like playing, and I hear like moanings from my computer. I leave the window open, Jesus Christ, and everyone's just congregating in this back room where I'm being held, and no cell phones, please. Just turn on your cell phone. And they, I hear one officer say, it's gringo, es famoso, and I say, excuse me, what did you say? And he says, yeah, I saw you in the periodicos in Mexico, and they saw me in the Mexican newspapers, and eventually, I tell them my story that I just didn't know I needed to stop, and if I knew that, I would have, and eventually they let me go, and they say, well, next time you get a ticket, and every other time that I've been stopped, they've gotten money off me, and then one time I get arrested and actually do something wrong, I get off scot-free. So in the end, I never got hassled after that in the remaining 4 months that I spent on the road, and I learned a lot from that experience. And ultimately, I thought, well, maybe word spread, and they fear the red-headed gringo that captures cops on tape and takes them down, and that's why I never got messed with. But ultimately, I think it's because whenever I met an officer, I greeted him with a smile instead of scorn, like I had before. So.